is Jason.
You invest in SoundHound?
Joel, shut the fuck up.
What the fuck?
Oh!
What?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jason and Joel. Happy birthday to you. Us.
Thank you so much. Don't blow them both out. See if you can do breath separation. All right. What do I want? Okay. I got it. All right.
Go Aquarians.
Aquarians.
I know so many Aquarians that have just popped into my life, so...
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the new episode of Music Twindustry with Jason and Joel. We are with Michelle Fantus. I don't know her, Jason.
I do.
Michelle, what is it that you do in the music industry? Because I have no idea.
So I'm a publishing A&R. I'm currently co-head of A&R at a company called Killphonic Rights. A&R in publishing is essentially signing and developing songwriters and artists who write their own music and producers who are also songwriters.
Got it. And so those songwriters go on to make music that the recording artists make, would record.
Yes.
So there's a bunch of different tiers to this thing.
Yeah. Is there still like a need for pushing songs that songwriters write? Is that something that A&R people do? Because when I ran Amalgam, there was like always like, so-and-so's working on an album. Let's get him this song by so-and-so co-wrote. And I'm like, cool, let's do that.
That's pitching, dude.
The interesting thing, though, is when I sat on A&R on the record side, I rarely cared about outside songs. I still think there's value in it. I just didn't know if that's something that you guys focus on at all, or you focus on at all.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I was a publishing A&R for many years, about 12 years.
Okay.
And then I had a recent stint on the streaming side for about 5 years. I was not in.
5 years?
Yeah. Things have changed. As of October, back in publishing A&R, and the industry has changed a lot. I'm finding it really interesting, and I'm still kind of trying to navigate. I'm re-engaging with my network in this way again to find out who out there might be looking for outside songs or tracks, or sometimes just a bridge, or they want to hear a good song, and maybe if they like it, they'll take, the hook. The best way, I think, is to get in the room.
It's part business development, part dealing with artists, and business development on both sides, actually, because you're wanting to get these songs heard by the record labels, and also the A&R people at the record labels serve the function of meeting with you and developing their side of the business. So it's,
I think it's an important job, to say the least. And I'm not going to make this a sweeping statement, but I'll say it, is that creatives are often not very good at like registering their works, or like knowing what music publishing really is and how valuable it is to like the bottom line. Having 100% of their works like properly registered at all the right places. Like it's a gray area for a lot of people. And even though it's so important, they're like thinking about the recorded work and how to release it, and not necessarily what happens after the fact.
Oh yeah, I think so many people in the industry don't fully understand publishing. I've been in publishing now for I think like 15 total years.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I've just started to learn more about the admin side. You can work at a publishing company, but maybe they admin through another company, and maybe that company has sub-publishers in foreign territories. Yeah. And it's something that you don't really know unless you have to know. Like you don't want to know maybe, because it makes no sense
Can
either.
be overwhelming too.
obviously why companies like Killphonic exist. Can you tell me about Killphonic?
Killphonic is a company that's about 5 years old, give or take. It was started by a writer-producer himself named Caleb Shreve. He, over time, decided to start a company, started Killphonic. It started as a management company. He felt the need to build a company that was transparent and fair, just like a good
That sounds pretty damn good, actually.
We have majority direct relationships.
That's amazing.
Secured funding from some investors to build the company, and hired creative staff. Myself, I have a co-head of A&R named Sid Butler, who founded French Kiss Records. Our head of sync, her name's Chelsea. So now we have this creative team, we have top-notch admin, and we're trying to build a really cool roster.
That sounds like a pretty modern-day music publishing company, actually.
Yeah. One thing I really love about this, too, is we really want to get indie publishing companies or management companies or labels or industry people who want to start their own companies, songwriters who want to start their own publishing companies, and have them admin through us so we can act as that admin partner. There are not many pub admins out there with these direct deals.
No,
not at all.
And
Jinx.
yeah, it makes a big
Hey, what's up? That's excellent. I hope that is a growth metric for you guys, to say the least. Our ethos for Earth Program is very similar, is that we don't create deals that we would never sign. People are like, I need my lawyer to look at it. I'm like, go ahead. If your lawyer has anything awesome to add to this that has already been lawyered to lawyer. We already created a fair template for both publishing as well as distribution as well as records, for instance. But if somebody had some like game-changing language, we would incorporate it. We want to have somebody sign a deal in a day because it's so fair.
Yeah.
And it's so transparent. And like, if they have any questions, we're going to answer it.
When I first started, I was, at a big bat, like top market share company,
Yeah,
and it was
totally.
all I knew. I grew up. I joke I grew up there. I started before I was 21. I couldn't get into
what
the
was your
first
story?
show.
How did you get there?
Was living in the city. I was going to Pace.
Okay.
I was a communication major. I had transferred from Florida. Okay, let me reverse. I grew up in because it's important. I grew up in New Jersey.
You grew up in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
No way. I
Yeah.
grew up in Flemington.
Yeah,
we were
so
on the
it's-
map because of the earthquake last year.
is that-
But then my family moved to Florida for my dad mid-high school. So I was living in Florida, but didn't really have any roots. I was applying to colleges, though. I always wanted to live in New York. Sex and the City and Felicity. I wanted to go to NYU. I know which dorm I wanted to live in back then. I just always wanted to move to New York. And then I did. And now I'm in New York. I'm like, I could do anything. I'm in New York. I was like, where would be a cool place to work? I had interned at Sirius Satellite Radio. It was weird.
Okay.
Senior year of college, I had enough credits to take night and weekend classes. I figured I should start working because it's expensive. I was thinking, well, I want to work in music, so maybe Sony. I type in Sony.com, not knowing that at the time my idea of a music job at Sony would be SonyBMG.com.
Right.
Looked up music in the search and entry level, and the only job available in I think all of music was a receptionist at Sony ATV Music
Wow,
Publishing.
okay.
And I'm like, what's music publishing?
Yeah.
And I Google it, and I research it, and I'm like, this is amazing. I
Yeah.
applied randomly.
That is so cool.
So
So
I got
cool.
that job, and then I'm like, ooh, A&R looks really cool. I want to
Yeah.
go to
Set
shows.
your eyes on that, yeah.
Yeah.
What-
But I was too young to go to shows in the city.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason was too young to get in
I
the
was
bars.
too young to get my first A&R job. I was 20. Then I was like, how do I get into bars? I'm like, you'll figure it out.
How did you move from the receptionist desk into the A&R gig?
Oh, that's a great question.
No, people often ask me, how do you get an A&R? I'm like, don't get an A&R job. Once you're in the building, you can sort of peer around. My advice is get any job. Any job that you can get that you're qualified for. Somebody's going to hire you. If you have the skills, you'll figure out how to get to the job that you want.
A friend that I had met who was more senior, he gave me the greatest tip ever. He was like, you want to do A&R? Cool. Why don't you make a mix CD and you give it to Rich Christina, who is I think he was
We love
VP of
Rich.
A&R at the time.
Yeah.
Love you, Rich, forever.
Yeah, Rich is the best.
He was like, give it to Rich. Rich is a friend of mine. I know he'll appreciate this. Make a CD, because it was CD days, of things that you like that are unpublished and give it to him and say, I have been thinking about what I want to do with my career and I would love to do A&R if you ever have any opportunities, or if I can send you
That's
things
great
that I
advice.
like,
Yeah.
that would be great. So I did that, and hopefully he listened. I think he listened to it. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
It did have some cool stuff on there,
But
though. One day, soon after, actually, by coincidence, he needed a new assistant.
Very
He was
cool.
like, oh, well, Michelle had interest. She's already here.
Yeah.
She's hopefully pretty cool. So then I became his assistant, and then from there, he very soon after left. I was assisting other people who are still in the business.
The opportunity to learn is so massive in that role.
Put yourself, in the path of opportunity.
Yeah, but not being an opportunist. I had an
of course.
assistant at Columbia who wanted my job so badly, and I'm like, yo, chill. And eventually I had to fire her because she was usurping me. I was 21. It was the first person I ever fired. I'm like, man, this sucks. Anyway, sorry to digress.
Some of my, I think, most valuable relationships in the industry came from those days of being an assistant, and they
Yeah.
were some writers at the height of their success. Now they're running publishing companies.
Yes,
and
exactly.
So
Shout out
cool.
Evan Bogart.
Yeah,
For me.
people remember that.
They
Yeah,
do,
totally.
Yeah.
I remember the people that were nice to me, and I've been nice to everyone in my career. And by the way, that's the only currency we have.
Yeah.
And it's not even fake. But so you worked for these different people, and then how did that lead to the gig?